beloved, rise and shine, beloved, great grand rising, grand afternoon, grand evening, wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome to Spiritual Success TV Live, where we're lighting the way to help you create a clear path forward on your personal and spiritual development journey. Your journey does not have to be lonely, aggravating, frustrating, or confusion. There is a way. With that being said, let's come on in, take a moment, tag your friends, your family members, let them know Spiritual Success TV is live. We're going to activate what I call a success mind, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the Facebook page so that I can see you guys in real time on Facebook, and I can get to your comments and all of that, and we are good to go. All right. So with that being said, give me a great grand rising. Let's come on in and activate the success mind. Hand on heart, hand on core. If you're sitting, go ahead and sit with those feet flat, back straight. Hand on heart, and take a good healing deep breath in through the nostrils and out fully through the mouth. And relax. Starting at the crown of the head, the skin that covers your scalp, let it relax. It should pull the eyes and the cheeks down. Drop those shoulders down from your ears. If you're sitting hunched, drop those shoulders down and breathe. And exhale fully through the mouth. We want to relax the shoulders, the arms, the fingers, the torso, the core center of self, the thighs, the legs, the feet. We want to feel the feet under us, feel the chair you're sitting in. We are anchored, we are grounded, but we want to go deeper. We want to allow the spirit to ascend. Healing deep breath in and exhale. We consciously turn the focus and attention inward to the rich inner life of the kingdom that is within, the Spirit of God that is within, the Christ consciousness that is within, the Holy Spirit that dwells within. And we're so thankful and so grateful today for this opportunity, thankful and grateful to be here. We're just expressing gratitude for our life, our health, our strength, for our family, for our loved ones, for all things working together and fitting into a plan for good. Yes. All right, lovelies, go ahead, tag somebody, invite some more people in, let them know Spiritual Success TV is live. All right. So last week we started talking about settling in and affirming and declaring your year. Settling into the things that you are affirming, your intentions, your declarations. Settling into that, meaning we wanted to come to a place where we are owning that, right? We want to own it. We want to embody it. And you're going to hear me talk more about that. So as we settle in to this year, today, I want to make sure that we are getting set up and that you are being set up to ensure that this year is a better year. Because no doubt about it, beloved, every year is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity. So when we flip over into this Gregorian New Year and we have all the hype about New Year's resolution, intentions, goals, and all of that, every year is an opportunity for you to be better. Every day is an opportunity for you to be better. But in order to do that, there are certain things that we're going to have to commit to. So today, what I want to set us up for is really settling in and committing to doing the sacred work. Write that down. Come on and talk back to me. Let me see. Grand Rising, great Darlene, Reese, Andrea, Lisa, great Grand Rising. Thanks for joining us live. Tyreek, thanks for joining us live. Listen, beloved, I want to ensure that you are set up for this year to really lend the results that you are looking for and wanting. In order to do that, you have to make a commitment to doing sacred work every single day. Now, Let me help you with something, because I know most of us come out of some kind of a religious background, rather it's Christian, Islam, Judaism, whatever it was for you. And those are the Abrahamic based faiths, right? And there's certain disciplines and certain things, certain religious mindsets and concepts that we had that held us down in oppression and that limited our power. So we really want to understand, when we say do the sacred work every day, the ego mind wants you to immediately think drudgery, pain, disappointment, disillusionment, all of the things that is associated with struggle, deliverance, warfare, right? That is not where we want to be in this season. We're in a new era, and I told you energetically where we are. Everything is set up to aid and support you in your transformation, in your dreams, and shutting down and bringing some things to an end, closing cycles out in your life. Everything is set for that this year. I'm going to talk more about that as we go along. So in order to ensure that this year bring you the desired results that your heart is asking for, you're going to have to do certain things, and committing to sacred work is one. And we're going to explain exactly what we mean by committing to doing the sacred work. But again, I want to repeat this. The sacred work is not drudgery. It's not, oh my God, here we go again. Oh my God. All of that comes out of the mental realm of force, right? Out of the mental realm of forcing and pushing your way. That's not where we want to be. We want to be in the realm of power. We want to be in the realm of flow. We want to be in a realm where we are gliding through and the labor is out of the work. So if you start thinking about sacred work and we say daily commitment and you start feeling tired and draining, it's because you've been operating from a low-level consciousness of, I have to do this, I have to do it. This is not what we're after. We're after the divine, the almighty, God doing the work through you, as you, so that the work is easy. Write that down. Easy. It's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. We got to take the labor out of it. We got to take the drudgery out of it. So where we are energetically this year, I want to repeat again that this is a major impact year. So much is happening for us that is raising us. Now, I know that some of you have heard me say, and I told the story last week about when I stayed up for 36 hours and this encounter, this supernatural encounter that I had, and how I'm unpacking all of that, defining it, refining it, and dissecting it so that I can begin to spoon feed it and give it to us in a way that we need it. One of the things that's going to happen, beloved, and the reason why we have to be committed to doing the sacred work is because you cannot operate in insanity any longer, right? Insanity, definition number one in the success communities, right, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We talked about that, but it's worth repeating. I have to bring this back up because it has to get in, because the ego has a way of causing us to go into what I call ego amnesia. It doesn't want you to remember or recall the things that's going to cause you to head north, right? So this time we want it to be easy. Insanity. You make all of these plans, these dreams, set these goals, set the intention, but then you don't do anything different, right? They call it insanity. And I was just pondering on this over the weekend, and I was saying, that's kind of like, that's a little mentally ill. And I don't mean that in a negative or derogatory way. I mean it in a way that we have to pay attention to our mental health and what's happening on a mental realm as well. Definition number one in the success communities, right? Insanity. You just keep doing the same thing. So you're looking, and in the old religious mindset, we would say things like, I'm believing God. I pray and I hope that God will help me because my God, something has to change. But we want to bring that into, you are the creator of reality and you have to cooperate with God. And there are some things you're going to have to do different. Definition number two of insanity is victimhood, where you are living your life constantly blaming someone or something for what's not working. That is a low level of spiritual intelligence, almost to the place where there is no spiritual intelligence at all, right? Your spiritual IQ is very low because you're vibrating at a very low conscious awareness, right? Letitia Smith, thanks for joining us live, sweetie. Thanks for joining us live. You're vibrating at a low frequency. What is a vibration? It's the way you think, it's the way you feel. But this is the thing about it, beloved, that I want you to understand, that we vibrate, rather we speak words or not, you are vibrating. So committing to sacred work. What is sacred work? As I said earlier, the first thing that you set up for yourself is what I call daily spiritual practices, DSPs. Write that down. In the spiritual success community, we're very familiar with DSPs. What are we talking about today? If you want to see the needle move in your life, if you want to see what you are looking for, hoping for, and dreaming for come into manifestation, then there are some things you're going to have to do on purpose. There's some things you're going to have to do on purpose, and you have to be consistent and do it every day. Do it every day, right? So when we talk about daily spiritual practices, I'm not talking about what you've been doing for the last 10, 15, 20 years, the same way you've been doing it, because every now and then we have to go in and refresh and revamp our daily spiritual practices. So this week, I think it was Thursday or Friday maybe, I felt this feeling in me that I wanted to press in. I want you to follow me, especially my Pentecostal apostolic folks. I got this feeling that came up in me that I just wanted to press in. And in pressing in, those of you that have journeyed with me, all of my folks from New Life and everybody else that know where we come from, you know what I mean by press in. So I wanted to just pray. And I felt like I wanted to pray in the spirit, pray in other tongues. Watch this. And that was my discipline, right? My daily practice for years. It is not that I practice that every day now, not in that way. I want you to follow me. When I began to go to that familiar place of what I was used to for all of those years of laying out, praying in the spirit, within 2 to 3 minutes, I noticed something. And this is what conscious awareness will do for you. Within 2 to 3 minutes, because I'm so in tune to my feelings at all times, I was able to recognize that as soon as I started pressing in, watch this, from that familiar place, underneath that, I felt desperation. And I stopped myself immediately. Because when you have a practice like that, for those of us that come out of that background where we laid out and prayed and we wailed and we hollered and we cried out to God and all of that. And it's a way to do that where that can be beneficial, but 90% of the time, the way we were doing it, it was not beneficial. It was working against us because we had such low level emotion attached to that praying, that crying, that wailing, that going in. It was desperation. And when I recognized that I was vibrating that low, underneath that now, underneath me praying and pushing in, I felt a spirit of desperation and I stopped myself. What am I saying? You have to look at your daily spiritual practices and examine what baggage may be attached to the actions that you're doing that's anchoring you in a negative realm or a contrary realm or a chaotic realm that is not where you want to be. And when I realized the desperation was attached, I immediately stopped. Because I also recognized that that was just an old familiar way of getting in. But you all know that have journeyed with me, there are many ways we can get in. And so I pulled out because I know I can breathe and get in. I can breathe, and which I chose to do, and not to go to that whole posture. That is the reason why many times now I do not lay out prostrate and pray. Why? Because on a cellular level, on a nervous system level, on a mindset level, laying out, because everything that we do and we put movement to it, we become kinesthetic in what we're doing and it's sending a message. So in the old days, when I would lay out and lay prostrate, yes, I was serious about tapping in, and going deeper. But 90% of the time, I was laying out because I was desperate, because I wanted something. All of that says lack. The desperation says doubt and fear and anxiety. Y'all talk back to me if anybody can identify with what I'm saying, that we're praying in desperation, and desperation is saying something's lacking, something's missing, I don't have it, I hope I can get it, will you hear me? And all of that is contrary to where we're supposed to operate from. So in pulling out of that, I chose to go another way, to tap in deeper, because there's more than one way. What baggage are you carrying that's connected to your spiritual practices? You're reading the word and getting into the word every day, but that word never goes beyond a religious interpretation or doctrinal interpretation where you can really apply it to your life in a meaningful way, understanding how you were created and how those things line up together, right? So as we go forward, you want to look at your daily spiritual practices, and every so often as your spirit leads you, you need to revamp it. Coming out of, I would say, like the last 4 or 5 months of 2023, my daily spiritual practices change all the way around, until I still walk past certain things that I set up that I'm not touching or being involved in. And I was like, gee, it's amazing how I just stopped doing that. Because when I want you to hear this, when your spirit, your divine self starts crying out for greater, crying out for more, I want you to be very sensitive about what you're being led to do. Many times I tell you in the past, when I was in that whole genre, you couldn't beat me fasting and praying, shutting in and all of that. That served its place. I went on more 21-day fasts, 40-day fasts, 90-day consecrations. But watch this, beloved. 90% of that, again, like 9 times out of 10, we were moving for a place of, from two things. One, either from a place of desperation, number one, or number two, we thought we was going to manipulate God into doing something or giving us something. Fasting and praying is good. Don't get me wrong, because it arrests the flesh. It quiet downs the ego mind and allows the spirit to come into ascendancy where you can hear and see and know and feel and sense on another level. That is what fasting and praying is going to do. It's going to just quiet down your flesh, quiet down the ego mind, quiet down and allow the spirit to come up so that you can hear, you can see, you can feel, you can sense. There are other ways to get in, but fasting and praying is good. It has a physical component to it where your body will start healing and regenerating itself. So I'm not speaking against fasting and praying. I'm not speaking against reading the Bible. I'm just saying your daily spiritual practices have to go beyond what you've been stuck in doing over and over and over again for years, but still you're in a miserable place. Still you're not seeing the manifestation of the life you desire. Then something must change. What is the spiritual work, beloved? What is the sacred work that you have to commit to? Daily spiritual practices. That's a way of shutting down the flesh, rather it's through prayer, meditation, taking a walk in nature, taking a walk by some water, sitting out by water, going to the gym. Whatever it is, there's many ways to pull this flesh down and tap into another realm. The second thing that you must commit to is mindset management and nervous system support. Write that down. Mindset management and nervous system support. What is that, Dr. E? We told you about how when we're in the 3D realm, that we've been raised up in this physical realm, and all the restrictions and limitations and conditions in this construct, we're in mindset misery. That's when you're in that lower, fourth dimensional, fourth density plane within a vain imagination, doubt, fear, worry, trauma, scenarios of doom and gloom, doubting yourself, that lower 4D realm of vain imagination. When we're locked in there, we're in mindset misery because there's always something playing in the mind about who you are not, what will happen, what won't happen, who likes you, who doesn't. But we have to learn how to come in mindset management, because when we learn to manage our mindset, that starts supporting the nervous system. When you're in mindset misery, your nervous system is being triggered and flipped. And all of those things that are stored on a cellular level in the body, it gets triggered and kicked up. I.e., like when I went to pray, to go deep in, and how I noticed a spirit of desperation was attached to what I was doing, right? That desperation of, I need something, I don't have something, God, please. And that is not our posture. That is not our posture in this season. Mindset management supports the nervous system, because when your nervous system is triggered and those things that are stored in the body, the energy that's stored on a cellular level starts vibrating, creating a frequency that begins to attract more of that in your life. I don't know about you, but I don't want to walk around feeling desperate. I don't want to create more things to be desperate about in my life. I don't want to create more things to worry about, to doubt about. So the mindset management is when we come into the dimension of awareness, and you're so aware of everything that you're thinking, feeling. Excuse me. The actions that you're taking, the actions that you're not taking, right? You want to be so you want to be so conscious of that. You want to be so conscious of that. Let me take a sip. You want to be so conscious of that, because we want to shift out of that. Because in the nervous system, every time you're triggered, that energy that fires off from your nervous system starts wiring together, says Dr. Joe Dispenza, in neurons in the brain. And so then you're back in old habits, old patterns, old way of doing things. And that's not what we want. So we need mindset management. How do I manage my mindset, Dr. E? Number one, as I said, you must become aware of your thoughts. Let's just start there. Becoming aware of your thoughts, not judging your thoughts, but observing your thoughts. Knowing that the I am, your higher self, the God within, is the observer of the thoughts. And I want you to write this down talk back to me today. Write this down. I will not judge myself. Beloved, you have to stop judging yourself. Stop judging the thoughts that you're thinking and just observe them. And recognize that you want to shift into a different way of thinking. So to sum this all up, you have to have support for yourself. This is why we get stuck every year doing the same thing over and over and over again, because you're trying to work alone. You're trying to do it alone. And that's not going to help. Yes, there's tons of information out there. We're in an information age. You can Google, you could YouTube, you could chat GPT, you could get information about anything. But what is my saying? Information without the outlet or the ability to implement will not yield a harvest. It will not yield a harvest. Information without implementation will not yield a harvest. We've got to be able, I will not judge myself, right? We say yes. Information is out there. You can get it everywhere. But if you're just taking in information and this sounds good and this good, but you don't have the proper tools to help you implement and start activating that in your life, you're not going to change. You're not going to see much of a result. And so we're here because we're understanding that this season, so much is being set up for us, beloved, so much. And I want to invite you to come. The little ticket's been strolling the whole time we were here. Listen, this is the last week I'm going to be doing this. I want you to come on into the Spiritual Success community. Come, beloved, come, come, come. I know this is your time. I know this is your season. Come on. Stop trying to do this on your own. Come into an aligned community of like-minded men and women that are on a journey of evolving, expanding, ascending, shifting realms of consciousness. And we meet 4 times a month, right? 4 times a month we meet. You have access to a community of like-minded people. You have access to me to mentor and to coach you, to get your questions asked. We have tools that we can give you so that you can start using to kind of stay focused, stay on a path. And then so much happens when you're in a community and a morphogenetic field. So many things begin to happen for you. So it's scrolling on the bottom there. We want you to come on in and join us this year in the Spiritual Success community. That's the URL. Go there, ElonaSanders.com/2024 SSL. The page is there. The information is there. Come on and enroll. If you need to chat with me about it, send me a message, DM me. Let's have a chat and let's see what we can co-create for you this year so that you can go higher. All right. This is the last week that I'm going to be asking you to sow a seed in our community. And these are all the ways that you can give. We're going to ask you to sow an $88, $98, $89 seed. We want to get to that number 9 for this year. I'm working with 2 8s myself because this is my personal year 8 and a universal year 8. That's just going to help me do what I do. I really need to hire some staff. I need some people to come on board and help me because I'm ready to take this to the next level. And I recognize I can't do everything myself. So come on in, sow that $89 seed, $88 seed, $98 seed. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone that sowed the seed, that counted it not robbery. You can screen save that so that you will have it. I thank you for sharing your substance with me so that I can continue to do what I do. All right, lovely. Share this on your timeline. And SSLers, I will see you tomorrow at noon. Have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.